Hello and welcome to your foundational Hatha Vinyasa yoga class focused on integrating strength and flexibility. My name is Anne, and for the past decade I've been immersed in the world of yoga and how our relationship with our body can totally shape the way we feel, think and engage with the world around us. So my aim is to share practices with you that are accessible and that give you more depth. First of all, to the relationship with yourself, and secondarily to all that surrounds you. So let's get started today. It's useful if you have a block or if you have two blocks, but if you don't, no problem at all. And also if you have a belt or anything that can function as a strap, that will be great as well. Let's get started today laying onto the back. And we're going to start, if you have the strap, bring it along. If you don't, no worries at all. And we're gonna start laying down flat. If you feel like your head is below the chest, always recommended to support the head and bend the legs for a moment as you drop your knees together. Place your hand, one hand on your abdomen and one hand on your stomach, our chest area. And just take this first few moments of class to settle fully into the body. All too often our bodies don't feel like a safe space, and we are fully stuck in our minds because we have had such an intense feelings and emotions in the body that we tend to avoid, because we might feel somehow that we cannot deal with and hold the emotions that naturally flow through us. So the aim today is to connect more to the body by bringing awareness to the connection of your body to the surface of the ground. And to find a new layer of depth in the breath, which in yoga we practice the Ujjayi breath. But before going there, if you're not there yet, just focus on finding full breaths and ensuring that throughout the class you're breathing fully in, always towards the belly, chest and the side body, and fully out as you soften into the belly and side body and chest. Let's take a few more breaths. Feel the touch of your body and hands, your feet and the ground. Again, breathe in and breathe out. And if you need another rhythm than what I'm suggesting, then make sure you respect that rhythm and you prioritize that breath over anything. Let's take a final full breath in. Breathe completely out through the nose and put now your feet hip width as wide as your hips. Feet very close to the hips and stretch your fingertips towards the heels. Then on an inhalation, lift your hips up. And exhale, bring your navel to the spine as you slowly relax your hips down. Do that again, lift the hips up as you inhale. And exhale, hips down. Inhale, hips up and hold for 1. Try to engage the back body more, so focus on the opening of the front, but also the squeezing of the back. And then slowly come and lay down. Now make sure your hips stay stable, so press the lower back to the floor and just stretch your right leg up to the sky. You can pull the right toes towards you, which creates a sense of length into the back of the right leg and the hamstring, and more strength into the front. If it's hard for you to straighten this leg without moving into the hips and losing the stability, then bend the leg a slight bit. For those who have a strap available, bring it around the leg. If you don't, you can just hold on to the leg and just take 3 firm breaths where on an inhalation you try to kind of push the leg into the hands or into the strap, and on an exhale you allow the leg to come towards you. Breathe fully and try to focus less on the next moment and more onto the present moment. Then breathe in. And then on exhalation, bring the right leg to the right side, but keep your left hand onto the left hip to make sure this is not releasing. So you're cultivating strength here. Maybe draw the navel a bit to the spine and bring the leg as much as you can to the right side. You can also bring it a bit up, hips heavy, and you breathe 1, 2, and 3. We're going to bring it to the center. Now you can bend the right leg. Put the belt to the side if you were using it. Open the right arm horizontally to the side and now take a deep inhalation. And on an exhalation, you're going to keep the hips wide as you drop the 2 knees to the left side. Like this, yes. Taking a few breaths. Breathing into the right side of the body and stimulating the digestion. Breathing deep into the belly. Inviting safety. And then come to center and just take a neutral position. So you can just relax fully out or keep the legs bent. But just take a moment to feel in the body or notice in the body the subtle difference between the 2 sides. Trying again to flow with the full breaths in and out. And then from here, we are going to do the other side. So straighten the left leg out, maybe with the belt. If you don't have the belt, just grab onto the back of your leg, possibly bend a bit, and try to spread out the soles of the foot. So the foot sole as well. So for those who use the strap, you can really pull on that strap so you're opening the sole of the foot as well, spreading the toes wherever we are. And if you feel like, okay, I feel I can go deeper, you can straighten the right leg out, but make sure you keep the hips steady, lower back press to the ground, and you breathe in and out. We are setting a strong foundation. This is important. So your alignment is actually supporting a healthier body, more balanced body. Then bend the right leg, press the foot to the floor, inhale. And now open the left leg horizontally to the side and ensure that right hip keeps pressed down. So you want to engage a bit more in the core. Take a few breaths and use every exhale to pull the leg a bit more up. It helps to exhale and pull the navel to the spine and press the lower back to the ground. We're going to come back to the center. Release the belt, bend the left leg. And now you can shuffle the hips a little bit to the left and drop the 2 knees to the right side. Just a few breaths. You can open the left arm horizontally to the side. You can even cross the left ankle over the right knee, but ensure this sacrum, this lower back area, stays broad. And you're breathing into the space of the lumbar spine. Breath first. And then we're going to come out of the position and just hug yourself, hold yourself. And we're going to try to rock back and forward. So if this doesn't work for you, you have spinal problems, then just come and sit onto the toes in your own way. But otherwise, if you can, bring the chin to the chest and rock back and forth, creating some velocity. Look to one point in front of you and then come to the toes. Put your hands out in front of you. It can be helpful to have a block. If you know the back of your legs is a bit tight, or even 2 blocks. And now try to first of all lengthen the spine. So pull your shoulder blades down, lengthen the spine, breathe in. And then exhale, try to fold over the legs. Drop the head and take a few breaths here. If you can easily touch the floor, you don't need the blocks. Then you can stay here, spreading the feet out wide. And now find the connection between the front and the back line of the body. So the more you pull the navel to the spine as you exhale and activate the front of the body, the more you naturally will open up the back of the body. Breathing. Now on an inhalation, we're going to do the half lift. So you might have to bend the legs a bit. And now come onto the fingertips and lift your chest away from the navel. Pull your shoulder blades back and look to your forehead. You can maybe even bring the hands to the shins. Then you bend the legs, spread the fingers wide and come to hands and knees position, all fours. Starting with some cat-cow, the opening of the spine. Inhale to arch the spine. You can look to the nose and exhale to round the spine and look to the navel. And just keep going and focus on feeling each and every vertebra instead of trying to force one part. Breathe in and breathe out round. Now breathe in, arch, and look to the tip of your nose if you can. Spread your fingers wide. Try to really push into the connection to the ground. And now come to a neutral position and make some circles with your shoulders around your wrists. So try to feel that you're opening the joints, bringing health to our wrists, very important part of the body. And then from here, when ready, you can bring your buttocks to your heels, forehead to the floor, and take some breaths here. This is the child's pose. This is considered the resting position. So in yoga, we learn to rest, to listen to the body when it's ever too much. So you know you can always come here or any other position that helps you to rest when you feel you need it. And coming back to hands and knees. And we're going to press ourselves into our first downward facing dog. So you're kind of making a triangle with the body. Lifting the hips up high. Roll the elbows out and back. And breathe in. And breathe out. It can be that your heels are from the floor. That's okay. It can be that your spine is a bit rounded. Then you want to bend the legs a bit to create more extension of the spine. Take 3 breaths. And then walk your feet to the front of the mat and put your feet outside of the hands and come and sit into a squat position. You can bring the hands to the heart. But if your heels are from the floor, then you want to keep the hands to the floor. Now take a few breaths. And also if those heels are from the floor, you can always fold your mat and kind of step onto that. Yes. So take about 3 more breaths and try to always check in. Where can I find more length? Where can I find more strength? Feeling the lengthening of the spine as you breathe in and the heaviness and relaxation into the hips as you breathe out. Breathe in fully. And exhale, fold over the legs. Put your feet hip width together. And now lift the chest a tiny bit as you inhale. And now try to step with your feet onto the hands. Drop the head down, opening more into the wrist by stretching it in the opposite direction. Breathe 1, 2, and 3. Then again we do that half lift, so release the hands, lift the chest, look to the forehead, inhale.
And exhale, relax the body down, drop fully down. And now push as much as you can into the feet, the Pada Bandha we call it, the foot lock, and bring the arms up. As you maybe join the palms together or just have the arms overhead, and you're taking a few breaths to breathe into the space between your hips and your rib cage. Open the abdomen, stretch the spine, and try to feel the boundaries of your body as you inhale and the connection to the ground as you exhale. Deep inhalation, and exhale, relax the arms next to the body. And take a full inhalation and full exhalation. Then bring the arms up. Stay here, and some of us like to practice with those toes together or keep them apart. Be consistent. Now stretch the body a few times from side to side as if you just wake up and you're just feeling how you want to move the body. So let your body just speak to you and listen what you need now. So if you feel some tension somewhere, go there, breathe. And then we're going to come to the center. Take a deep inhalation, as deep as you can. Maybe look up. And exhale, fold over the legs. Drop the head fully down. Half lift as you breathe in. And then exhale, come to hands and knees. Spread the fingers, hands and knees position, and put your knees a bit behind the hips. Take 3 breaths here. Spread the fingers and push into the hands. Look to the top of the nose for 1, 2. Exhale, navel to spine, and slowly come and lay down to the floor. Untuck the toes. Now look to the top of the nose, press to the tops of the feet, and lift the chest and release the hands. Hold 3 breaths. Really using the strength in the QLs, in the quadratus lumbar and the core, to lift the chest up. These are the muscles here in the lower back, and many times we rely just on the arms, and we have more passive stretches. We're really focused on this activation to balance the stretch with strength. Then press into the hands and push yourself to downward facing dog. Take a full deep inhalation and full deep exhalation. Coming back to hands and knees, or this time without the knees, a plank position. Look again to the top of the nose. And maybe we're going to try to do 3 push-ups with or without knees. So as a push-up in a plank, lower down. And then back up as you inhale. And back down as you come out. Back up as you inhale. Down as you come out. And now come and lay down for a moment. Untuck the toes and slide your hands a little bit back. Now option 1, if you have lower back problems, just do the option, the same one, without the hands. Or if you can, lift everything, knees and hips, pressing into the 10 knuckles, open chest, inhale. This is the upward facing dog. Exhale, push back, downward facing dog. Taking 3 breaths. Now we are going to try to lift our right leg up for 3 breaths. Now, if this feels like it's a lot, you can always put the left knee down and be here for 3 breaths. Otherwise, right leg up, 3 breaths. And we're going to move from closed to open hip transition. So you try to turn your right hip over the left vertically and exhale next to each other horizontally. Inhale, open. And exhale, close. Inhale, open. And exhale, close as you bring the right knee to the nose. Step the right foot in between the hands. Push, put your back foot flat to the floor. And now come to warrior 1 position. Arms up, you look forward or you look up to the thumbs. If you feel some tension in the shoulders, then you want to
open the arms. Otherwise, you can join the palms. And if this doesn't feel good on your back knee, you want to turn the back heel in and go more to the Anjanasana, the lunge shape. Now let's all see if we can start on an exhalation to straighten the front leg and fold over the front leg. Maybe you are going to use blocks if you are far away from the floor with your hands to keep the spine a bit longer, possibly releasing a bit of the tension on the front leg by bending it a little bit. Now those who feel like, oh, I want to add a little bit element of balance, they can, for the next 2 breaths, push into the right foot and lift the back leg, but keeping the one line from the left heel to the crown of the head, maybe even joining the hands to the heart center. And then stepping it slowly back, wide stance, straighten the 2 legs, and open now your hips to the long side of the mat. Make your position big and ensure your right heel is in alignment with your left arch. Arms are as high, reaching out from the center of your chest. The fingertips are extending out and you look over the right hand. This is the warrior 2 position. Take deep breaths again into the abdomen. And now we're going to try to straighten the front leg. Bring the right arm up and try to stretch from your right big toe to your right fingertips. Walk your left foot a little bit closer. And now put the right hand onto the right lower leg. And the left arm comes up. Maybe look up to the left hand. Counting 1, 2, and 3, back to center, arms to the side, push into the 2 feet and circle your hands down. We do what we call the vinyasa. If you are newer to the practice, you can just put the knees down and flow with the breath. Inhale to arch and exhale to round back into that triangle shape of the downward facing dog. But if you do a full vinyasa, we do high to low plank on an exhalation, flipping it open into upward facing dog on an inhalation and pressing it back to downward facing dog on an exhalation. Remember, find your breath and prioritize the connection to the ground as you feel yourself present. Then bring the left leg high up. Square the hips, possibly micro-bend the right leg a bit more to find space. And then open the hip. Exhale, close. Inhale, peel it open. And exhale, close. Peel it open. Close, look in between the hands. Step the left foot in between the hands. Deep bend in the front leg. Back foot flat into the mat and maybe look up or look forward. You can turn the back knee in and release the back heel if that feels better for you. Into the lunge. And then on your next exhale, fold over the front leg by straightening it. Fingertips underneath the shoulders, possibly use blocks. Relax the head and breathe through the sensations. The more intense your sensations are, the more you breathe. And those who want, they can lift their back leg up for just another 2 breaths. If you pull the toes down, you're going to engage more the front line. If you point, you're going to engage more the back line. So feel where your knees lie. And step now back, big stance. Warrior 2, left heel in alignment with the right arch. Right foot parallel to the short side of the mat. Then straighten front leg, bring the left arm overhead, maybe look up. And then put your left hand to the left lower leg. Put your right foot a little bit closer if you need. And come to the triangle. Some of us like to use our block also here under the left hand and only look up if it feels okay for the neck. Smooth breaths. looking down, putting our two hands down, our first transitioning over standing warrior two, transitioning hands down, and flow through a vinyasa. Again, you can add some extra push-ups if you want to make the practice stronger, or rest a bit, or move through some cat-cow. We meet in downward facing dog. We're gonna take 3 deep breaths and maybe release on a sigh. Focus less on going somewhere and be more here. Safety in the body, bringing strength and flexibility, bridging effort and ease by breathing smoothly in and out. And now see if you can step your feet slowly to the front or make a little hop, landing the feet in between the hands. And then lift the chest as you breathe in, feet hip width or toes to touch. Exhale, relax. And then sit onto a chair. Bring the arms up if you can, or bring the hands to the heart. And try to sink as low as we can for 5, 4, 3, 2, and then put your hands down. Either come and sit into a squat again like before, or those who like, we can practice one balance onto the hands now. So the hand balance, the crow position, you're gonna do the same as you do in a push-up, and you find this little hole here right before you, above your armpit. You put your knees in there, or you put your knees, elbows to the inside of the knees. Bring your chest forward, open the chest, find one point, and then see if you can release 1 or 2 feet and balance. Focus less on the result, more on being present. 1. Breathe slowly. And now you either step back, or some of us can jump into a low plank, into upward facing dog, into downward facing dog. And then from here, step or jump your feet in between the hands. Those who jump through, it can also be helpful to use your blocks as you land in your feet in between your hands and coming to seated. Then from here, pull your 10 toes to you. Sit up tall. It can be helpful to sit on a block if it's hard for you to sit up. Look to the top of your nose and just allow yourself to settle into a deeper appreciation of the present. So instead of beating yourself up on where you are not, celebrate where you are and the efforts you're putting. And now see if you can grab on to your feet or shins. Open the chest as you breathe in, look again up. And now stay low, and this exercise is so good to do every day. So just stay here about 10 breaths, and we're opening all the nerves in the back of the body. So it's not just the muscles here, there's a lot of deeper relaxation that's taking place. So find a more forceful breath, like not forceful but steady and continuous and a bit deeper. Inhale, lift the chest. And exhale, then come slowly out of the position. And we're gonna roll down to the floor and just hug your knees to the chest. Make sure your neck is free. Make some circles with the knees onto the chest. And then maybe just shake your legs out, shake your wrist, or make some circles, just making sure the joints are healthy, and you release any excess tension you feel by maybe Breathing a few times out through the mouth, and then when you're ready, you can relax here. Spine neutralization is always important at the end of class. So if you feel your lower back still pulling a bit, you can hold the knees to the chest, making some circles. And then eventually you can relax in your own way into Shavasana, just extending the legs out, feet as wide as the mat, arms open, up placing the soles of the feet together. And dropping the knees open. And then just relax. Allow the shoulders to be wide. The hips to be heavy. Maybe put your hands on the body if this helps you to be more grounded. And then you're going to take just 2 minutes just to do nothing, then to let the movements integrate. Concentrate on the space between your thoughts and allow that space to grow so you can be present, less reactive, more creative, more connected. And whenever you are ready, only at your own time, you can turn onto the right side and stay there a bit longer until you eventually come and sit down. And then when you sit down over the side, you thank yourself and you close off with an appreciation of your body, the opportunity of this day, of this moment. You can also choose to stay a bit longer, but make sure you carry that connection from the mat into the world, and you allow your body to be a safe place, a home. Thank you so much, and have a beautiful day.